Today we have come to celebrate the 45th birthday of a great man who just happens to be my dad, Dr. Timothy B. Deas Sr. You have come from near and far to be a part of this great celebration, and I say to you, welcome. It is an honor to pause and pay tribute to this man, my dad, for his love, dedication, hard work, and of course, the reason we celebrate this afternoon, another year of life. So here's to you, Dr. Timothy B. Deas Sr. We honor you and hope that each of you will enjoy the program. At this time, we will have a birthday felicitations. The man.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening again. I'm glad that you all have come to celebrate this occasion with Dr. Deas this afternoon. Thank you for coming to be with us. I didn't know I was going to have to do this, but of course, on yesterday I sent him a text and told him that on yesterday's date that God had given him to me, and it's 45 years later, and that was a special day. In other words, he is one that supposedly had been, according to the doctors, hydrocephalus, a waterhead baby. That's what they had said he was going to be, but God. But God. So we are so thankful today for 45 years later to celebrate this young man. And most of you know him, and you know how energetic he is. He's like the energizing bunny. That's the way he's been all of his life. He's been preaching and praising God since 3 years of age. So what you see this evening is what you get. Thank you all. Enjoy.
Good evening. I will make mine short and sweet. For my thumb-sucking days together, for me pushing you up the ass daddy to go Burger King, and to you now being a great pastor, a great father, and a great husband, and definitely a great brother. I wish you 45 more years, because 50 is chasing you down.
Good evening. Good evening. I am Titus Benjamin Deas Jr., the older brother to Dr. Timothy B. Deas Sr. I was looking at the program. He said felicitations. I was saying, what in the world is a felicitation? And then I told my wife, I said, you're never too old to learn. So I generally am the one who looks up words and put out new words, but today he got one over on me. So we're here to give birthday greetings to Dr. Timothy B. Deas Sr. As has been said, he's energetic. He's a lover of people. He's a people person. And I was talking just the other day and telling somebody, we are as different as night and day. He's outgoing. I'm more reserved. He's a talker. I'm more quiet. But if you put him in a room, you're definitely going to know that he's there. He's definitely going to make his presence felt. But we thank God for him and who God has developed him into in these 45 years. We've had great times together as brothers. My father always told us and taught us to be a close-knit family. And we are that to this day. We love each other. I thank God for him. I thank God for the man that he has become. And that's what we're talking about, him as the man. Many times, many of you may know him as the minister, but behind the minister there is a man. And so many times we lose our identity and our personality and the person that God has created us to be because we operate in a role. As quiet as it's kept, the calling is still a role. And many times people overlook the man because they look at him in the role so many times, but I thank God for the man that he is. I've known him as long as I've been able to know, and that's as long as he's been here for sure. I'm a couple of years older than he is, and he's always been the same all throughout his life. You look for him and you can't find him because he can't sit still. He's over here one minute, he's over there the next minute, he's somewhere else, and everybody looking for him and nobody can find him. They say, well, where is he? It's almost like he's Houdini. He just disappears. So that's who he's been all his life. Even as a child, we were looking for him, and I think one time he got lost in the store, and we were looking all over for him, and by the time we found him, he was boo-hoo crying. My mama said, I tell you what, you walk up from here again, I'm going to leave you right where you are. So he's been that way all of his life, but we thank God for the 45 years of life that God has blessed him with, and I just want you to know as your brother, I love you. Thank God for you.
Now we will see how well you know him. Part 1. We ask that you work together as a table group to come up with the answers. Notice that you have index cards on the table. Next, we will have a solo, followed by a special tribute by State Representative Patty Bentley, then the blessing of the food by, then the blessing of the food.
I will always love you, love you, love you. I will always love you, love you, love you. When I was a little girl, I said I look like you. Everyone said otherwise, but I believed it was true. From day to day, you showed me how much you love me. You were by my side even when others weren't. And I know I have you to hold on to. And I will always love you, love you, love you. I will always love you, love you, love you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Now we will have the blessing of the food. Thank you, Lord, for this food that we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies for your service. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, we will have birthday felicitations from my former teacher by Mr. Antonio Watkins. After him, my former administrator by Miss Vicky Gales, and words from Dr. Walter Stevens.
Greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
If you were to take a rubber band, doesn't matter what size rubber band, smallest to the greatest, it's just a rubber band. It does not know what it's capable of doing until the right hand starts to stretch it and put it around an object for it to be able to see how useful it can be. Back at Middle Georgia Tech, Mr. Deas at the time was my English instructor. Personally, I did not care for English. I was an accounting student, couldn't figure out, why do I have to take this English class? All I want to learn is accounting. And I excelled in it. But nonetheless, knew it from high school, graduated a couple years before I did. So I figured, hey, let me just take the class so I can do the classes I really want to take. But during that class, I saw English a little bit differently. I know it because of him. And the way he taught it, it caused me to want to see it a little bit differently. And what it did, it invigorated me a little bit more to where I wanted to do well at it. And I can remember taking a test one day. The next day we came, I didn't know how well I did on the test, but the next day when I walked in the class, there was a way he looked at me, I couldn't even look at him in the face. Because I knew I didn't do as well as I could have on that test. And we had scantrons back then. As we walked by through the road, he slammed the scantron on the desk. I was like, man. But I made a B. But the fact is, he had an expectation of me, and I had enough respect for him to know I wasn't B material. I didn't care to make A's in English. From elementary on up to high school, it wasn't important to me, but at that time I knew I could not fail my instructor. I had to make an A in his class. And from that point on, everything I submitted in that class, it was A material. But had he not had that type of respect for me, teaching goes both ways. Respect has to go out just like it comes in. But he had enough respect for me, and he had enough insight to know I was better than just be material. He pulled me. I was that rubber band who did not know. I knew I could do accounting, but I did not know I could do English until he pulled me and stretched me, and then I knew my capabilities. As an instructor, he was one of the greatest to grace our campus, has a long-standing name there. But for any student who took his class, and I had to understand what he was doing to me and for me, as a male in a class dominated by females, I had to be the exception. I had to show what I could actually do. And that really pushed me to, throughout anything I do from a learning standpoint, it makes me operate a little bit differently. It makes me think a little bit differently when I open my mouth to speak, when I sit down to write. I do it a little bit differently, and I can always go back to that class back in 2001. So as my friend, as my brother, I want to tell you thank you. I love you and your wife, your family. My wife and I, we thank you, we love you, and we're just happy to be here with you today. Thank you all.
Don't say nothing, right? Good evening. You gave me that look. Trust me, I don't know any secrets. If I knew him, I probably wouldn't tell him anyway. So I saw him earlier this week. He reminded me, he said, "You coming?" So glad you reminded me. I said, "But I'll definitely be here. We got to talk about our family and our kids and so forth." And we always have this thing because he graduated from Fort Valley, the Fort Valley State University. Right? And I graduated from Tuskegee University. So we always have this thing that we go back and forth and so forth. But it's all out of love, because anytime that you have that kind of experience with the Historically Black College and University, no matter where you went to school, it's always the same. Financial aid line is going to be long. Whether you at Tuskegee, or whether you at Fort Valley State. And no matter how close you get to the front of the line, lunch is going to always be lunch, and you got to come back. So we always would have that thing, but I served as his principal. I had the privilege of serving as his principal. I think it was at Thompson before I got there. And of course he left. He came back. Was it 3 times or 2? His wife said a lot. I don't know, but any time that he wanted to come back, I automatically hired him, because like Brother Walker said, I knew his work. And it wasn't difficult for me to submit that selection form because I knew his work. And when you know a person's work, it's easy for you to vouch for him. He's also, not also was, but he is a pastor, a minister. And there would be times that we would have our moments and we would share word in the hallway, and he said, well, I sure needed that today. Thank you so much. I said, yeah. I said, you know, sometimes that's how it works. So you have those little moments. And we always tell people, if anybody brings anything to you and they start talking about the prophetic piece, God speaks to you first. He'll send somebody else to confirm it. So whatever he was going through and whatever word God gave me and I shared it with him, it was just a confirmation for whatever he was going through. So then he decided he wanted to be an administrator. He applied for a couple jobs in the district, Houston County. And I told him, I said, well, go look at your certificate. I said, does it say that you have to be an administrator in Houston County? He just kind of looked at me. I said, well, you go look at it, and when you find it on there, you come back and you see. Doc, I didn't see that. I said, well, that means that you can be an administrator anywhere in the state of Georgia. You just have to make up your mind whether or not you want to be an administrator. I said, now granted, I would love for you to be administrator in Houston County, but there are opportunities beyond the district. I wasn't trying to push him out, but I wanted him to see that if you truly want to fulfill your dream and to fulfill your passion to be an administrator, you have to step out. It's almost like that saying with the mama eagle stirring up the nest. So it's not so familiar. So he did go out. He went out, I believe he worked at Weaver, next to West Side. Stayed out a couple of years. He applied for a position in Houston County, and lo and behold, he got the job in Houston County. In fact, he got the job Tuesday, 1 year ago Tuesday. You know, and it was a promotion for both he and I. Did I say that right? Did I get that right? He and I, me and you, him and me, him and me. How about this? We both got a promotion. Yeah, that's good enough. She said that's good enough. Mother said that's good enough. We both got a promotion. And the beautiful thing about it is we were still connected because the school that he's at is actually one of the schools that I supervise in the district. So we still have constant conversations about different things. Doc, I got something for you. Well, what is it, Doc? Well, we got such and such. Well, just go ahead and make a decision and we'll get together and we'll come back. But I can tell you that he has a passion for children. And that's hard to find. We've been sitting here talking about this, and for those of us who are in education, we know this is hard work. You got to have a passion for children. Because as we say, they ain't growing up like we used to grow up. They're not growing up. My principal used to live down the street from my mama. Wasn't always a good kid. So, and God rest his soul, he passed away yesterday. Dr. Hosea Blash. And, you know, that's hard because now educators we don't live in the same community a lot of times as our students. So when something happens, you can't necessarily just ride by the house and pull in the yard and say, I'm going to talk to your folks today. You know, because you knew you were going to get it at school and you were going to get it at home. But I said all that to say this. It's a passion that I constantly see on him every day. And he's constantly moving. He's constantly moving. You're absolutely right. I don't know where you get all that energy from. But it's enough to fill up a room. But may God bless you. Renee is here with me. And we love you. We love your family. And we want you to continue to, I didn't realize you were 45. I didn't know that. That's probably why we get along so good. But we were sitting right there together. Graduating, what, 92? 93? Okay, I graduated from high school in 91. So, but I knew something special about you. I just knew it wasn't because you graduated from Fort Valley State. I knew something was special about you. And again, we thank you. Had an opportunity to watch your kids grow. And I think he's taller than me now. Goodness gracious. Yeah, taller than me and got more hair than I got. But you're just an outstanding educator. You're an outstanding family man. You're an outstanding pastor. And as my mother would say, to God be the glory. And may God continue to bless you, keep you, and prosper you in all of the things that you touch. So I'm honored to even be in your midst, because I just, you inspire me as much as I know we inspire each other. So again, I thank you, and I just want to say you take a lot of pictures. Take a lot of pictures. I hope you're not driving while you're taking those pictures.
Next, we will have a special tribute by State Representative Patty Bentley.
Well, good evening. For this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. We are here to celebrate the 45th birthday of our very own Dr. Timothy Deas, Sr. Let's give it up for Dr. Deas. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you all so very much. And I'm sorry I'm having to rush right in and rush right back out. This is my second event for today. But Dr. Deas means so much to me that I wanted to be here personally and present this resolution to him on behalf of the Georgia House of Representatives. As today is Dr. Timothy Deas Day in the state of Georgia. And I'd like to share with you House Resolution 1368 that can be found 20, 30 years from now if you Google Georgia General Assembly House Resolution 1368. This resolution is going down in history in the state of Georgia as we're honoring Dr. Deas here today. Resolution commending and congratulating Dr. Timothy B. Deas Sr. and for the purposes. Whereas Dr. Timothy Deas was born on March 6, 1975, and this year, he enjoys the distinction of celebrating his 45th birthday. And whereas the devotion, patience, and understanding he has demonstrated have provided the foundation of success from which his family members have developed and flourished, as evidenced by his loving marriage to Christina Deas and his two beautiful children, Trinity and Timothy Jr. And whereas the distinguished gentleman has given inspiration to many through his high ideas, morals, and deep concerns for his fellow citizens, and whereas he is currently the senior pastor of the Greater Cathedral of Praise Ministries in Fort Valley, Georgia, and holds the position of National Youth President in the Firstborn Church of the Living God, Incorporated. And whereas this remarkable Georgian is a lifelong educator with over 20 years of teaching experience in the technical college system of Georgia and the public schools of Peach County, Bibb County, and Houston County. He now serves as an elementary school assistant principal, and whereas Dr. Deas is a person of great strength with a wonderful reputation for integrity, intelligence, fairness, and kindness. Whereas by the example Dr. Deas has made of his life, he makes this world a better place in which to live, and it is only fitting and proper that he be appropriately recognized during this very special and memorable time. Now for there be resolved by the House of Representatives that the members of this body commend Dr. Timothy B. Deas Sr. for his unselfish, dedicated, and loving service to the members of his family and community, congratulate him on the occasion of his 45th birthday, and extend their most sincere best wishes for continued health and happiness. Be it further resolved that the clerk of the House of Representatives is authorized and directed to make an appropriate copy of this resolution available for distribution to Dr. Timothy B. Deas Sr. And this is by the Georgia House of Representatives, March 3rd, 2020. And this, as I stated, is House Resolution 1368. That is a part of the 2020 Georgia General Assembly session. And this resolution was read on the House floor in front of the entire House of Representatives as we proudly honor and commend Dr. Deas on his 45th birthday. So let us and all 180 members of the Georgia House of Representatives, we salute you on your very special day, and may God bless you. Thank you so very much. It is certainly my honor to present this to you on behalf of the entire Georgia General Assembly. Thank you again for having me here on this evening. I'm so very sorry that I'm having to rush back out. I got to go back, and you all know about my husband's situation. He was involved in a car accident 2 years ago. He was paralyzed, and so it's my weekend to work with him, and he's here with me, but I got to get him back to the facility where he's located. But I just thank you all for your continued support and your prayers, and let us continue to support our first family as they are doing wonderful things here in the city of Fort Valley and Peach County and surrounding counties here in the state of Georgia. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
At this time, we will have part 2 of How Well Do You Know Him? We ask once again that you work together as a table group to come up with the answers. You have note cards on your table.
You thought I was worth saving, so you came and changed my life. You thought I was worth keeping, so you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for, so you sacrificed your life so I could be free, so I could be whole, so I could tell everyone I know you thought I was worth saving. So you came and changed my life. You thought I was worth keeping. So you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for. So you sacrificed your life so I could be free, so I could be whole, so I could tell everyone I know. Hallelujah. Glory to the God who changed my life, and I will praise you. I'll worship you. I'll give you glory. So I could be free, so I could be whole, so I could tell everyone I know. Hallelujah. Glory to the God who changed my life, and I will praise you. I'll worship you. I'll give you glory. So I could be free, so I could be whole, so I could tell everyone I know. You thought I was worth saving, so you came and changed my life. You thought I was worth keeping, so you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for. Oh, you thought I was to die for. Oh, so I could be free.
Now we will have birthday felicitations, his impact part 3, and this is a part where everybody can participate, and it's not offering time, but please stay up to 2 minutes, and the program is open to any well-wishers. Please limit yourself to 2 minutes.
Bishop Deas, Elder Deas, Brother Deas. I know the whole family. And you know, I've been knowing them since when they moved to Fort Valley. They were little bitty kids. And they've grown up to be such nice young men and women. And I would just like to say, their mother and father was our pastor of our church for many years. He passed on now, be with the Lord. But I remember they were little bitty kids when they moved here. My husband used to take them to the one of the places where they, you know, you could go to the window and get sandwiches. Yeah, at the food place. And you know, you wouldn't want to meet a better family. I have enjoyed Mother Deas, church. Isn't that wonderful? Wonderful mother. Wonderful sister. Had a wonderful father. And to make a long story short, they are a beautiful family. And I love that family. And we still work together. We still work together. And Bishop D and Elder D and to their mother and sister and the entire family. You all go ahead on and keep doing what you're doing. Because only for doing for Christ, it will last. It will last. And you will be happy doing it, and everything will just work out fine. Amen. And I want you all to know I love you all. I still love you. Beautiful family. And this little deed here, it's going to be another little deed. And happy birthday. Beautiful parents. And I want you all to know I love you all. And keep on doing what you're doing. Because what you do for Christ, it will last. Amen. Amen.
Worship with him at his church, and I'm like, yes, I see where the energy comes from. It has to come from the Most High. As one of his workers, he was always kind, never an unpleasant word. And you know, if you think about those of you who work in education and other fields, sometimes it may not be as pleasant as you would love for it to be. But he always had a kind word, and he was so compassionate. I had lost my mom after a lengthy illness, and so I was going through those stages of grief, but I was in denial that I was going through the stages of grief, because anyone who knows me, like, nothing is going to defeat me. As I told you, I was determined to get here. And so that's why he's laughing. But he was just very compassionate at that time, and he said, well, I don't want to upset you. I said, no, it's not you. But then finally, we had something in common when he unfortunately lost his father. And so we had that in common, and I was able to share with him how I am still able to get through it day by day. And he too, you know, even though he's the pastor, pastors need us to support them as well. Okay, and sometimes we kind of forget that, because when we go to the church, we always think of that as our hospital, and we think of the pastor as being the surgeon. Okay, but sometimes the surgeon needs a kind word, and I'll never forget. He often said to me, "I appreciate you just being so open and discussing your feelings at the time." And one of the things that I am an advocate for is for us to seek therapy when we need it. As a group of people, we tend to shun therapy, but it's there for a reason. And you have to have somewhere to pour out and not be judged. Okay? Because sometimes when we're with our own, they want to judge us, and that's not what we need. We need that loving kindness. So, as one of the teachers at Weaver Middle School, Mr. Deas, and I said Mr. Deas because that's what we called him, he was just always and if there's an open, let me know. And I also bring greetings from my other partner in crime who could not come. I know you're looking for, and that's Miss Bird, Cheryl Bird. And when I ask you all, please pray for her father. Her father is in ICU. He is Reverend Terry of Macon, Georgia. So if you all would please send up a prayer. It is, I'm not going to say it's bleak, but their family needs our prayer. So she also sends her love as well. Okay, so thank you all so much.
To my pastor, my spiritual father, I appreciate you. Even though sometimes we don't see eye to eye, but I still appreciate you. And I remember when I got ready to join the ministry, I think me and TT was talking, and I joined. Me and my brother joined at the same time. Matter of fact, I think it was that Easter Sunday we decided to join. And my family appreciate you too. He had the opportunity to talk to my grandma several times before her mind decided to decline on her. But he talked to my grandma, my mom, everybody. They appreciate you. My mom, she always asks about you, just as well as my brother, of course, you know, my sister do. I just thank God for you. And I love you and happy birthday.
Praise the Lord, everybody.
Just want to say happy birthday to my pastor. I love you beyond words can ever express. I had everything what I was gonna say in my head, but I stood up and got nervous and I feel like I'm gonna cry. I don't know, Pastor, I really appreciate you. When I see you in church, I see you more than just a pastor. And just to have you in my life is really a blessing because you keep me close. And even though we don't always talk, I still got you wherever, and I know you got me through whatever. And like I told you the other night, when nobody else go in with you, if I'm not on them drums, I would go in with you. But happy birthday. If they don't crack. I love you, Pastor.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings. I just had to say something because we've been together for quite a long time. Just want to say to my pastor that he actually got me through high school. I was sort of shy, and he didn't care. He was like, "You ready to go? Let's go." I didn't go to many football games or anything like that. We went to church. We went to different revivals. We went through a hurricane together. So just happy birthday.
Good evening. Happy birthday, Pastor Deas. I met Pastor Deas through his lovely wife, Christina. We went to graduate school together. And since we connected, it's been awesome. When we talk, it's mostly about ministry or encouraging one another. And I wasn't going to speak to the young lady who mentioned non-judgmental zone. And I want to let you know that this generation really, really needs you. We love what you're doing for the millennials on down. You're very special to us. I can't put it into words what you mean to this generation, starting with me. And I can call Pastor Deas from a ministry perspective and non-judgmental. And we really need that in this generation. I love you. God bless you. Many more birthdays.
Hey, my friend. Well, I'm Chris Dumas. Pastor Dumas is what he called me, but you can call me Chris. I'm just an average person. But I haven't known Pastor Timothy and Christina long, but when we met, we just clicked. We was like brothers and sisters and so on and so forth. But he is a great man. Everything that everybody has said about him is so true. He is a community leader is what I see him as, you know. So when I'm with him and you see us at the fair walking around or whatever, I'm just in his shadow. I mean, we got to acknowledge me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to be with him. But anyway, you know, he's a great guy, you know, and you know, you can't find a better person. And you know, you have to give people their flowers while they're living. You know, I don't want to be standing up over no casket talking about him or him talking about me. And I want him to know today that I love him. Amen. I think we all need to let him know. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to wish my pastor a very happy birthday. I remember, also like Mother stated, I remember when they first came to Fort Valley, how they were little, how he was a little boy, and he would love to praise God at the church. And then I remember also, as Mother and Bishop would go down to Climax every now and then, he would spend the night on the weekend at my house, and I thank and praise God. I'm not gonna cry, but I thank God that I would. God blessed him to be a young man, a mighty young man, and I wanted my son to be like Pastor D. But my son went another direction. But I thank God for knowing him as a young man and proud that you are the young man that God has ordained you to be. And you keep going on. Keep your head up. Hold your head up high. God is on your side. And happy birthday to you. And enjoy your day and enjoy life. Happy birthday.
She directed their wedding. And I remember when he was a little baby, and I asked Mother Deas, I was a teenager, I said, what made him so special? What made him a miracle baby? Because, you know, I never know what this situation was like. And she politely let me know what it was. I said, oh, okay, because I didn't know. This is a miracle baby. This is a miracle baby. And I'm like, I don't see nothing special about him. That was me, you know, being a teenager. And, you know, and look where he is today. Look where he is now. Right now, he is my supervisor because I just became the district youth president. I was the diocese field worker, now I'm the district, and he's still my boss. You understand? So when I have a question for him, I call and he answered. And sometimes I even forgot about it. He'd say, how's such and such a minute? I said, how you know about that? He said, you called me. I said, I did. But I even forgot, but he remembered. And that's the type of person he is. God bless you. Happy birthday.
Anybody else? Once, twice. So back to me. We will have the cutting of the cake and remarks from Dr. Deas. Please make sure that you get a picture with Dr. Deas if you will.
Appreciate you. 45 years. I'm trying to be myself. I'm trying not to cry, okay? I'm gonna try. But 45 years, and people, every one of you all in this room are special to me, whether you know it or not. And it's something, Oprah Winfrey talked about names at one time, and not just names, but having the correct pronunciation of people's names. She talked about how important that is. So even before I get to that, to know people's names and be able to call people by name, that's really important to me. I've got a lot of children at 2 different schools, so I'm yet learning all my babies' names. And I know some, you know, I know some more than others, but I appreciate, there are a lot of educators in the room, and all the educators stand up, whether you're a teacher or administrator, all educators.
What about retired?
That too, Doc.
Retired.
Can we give educators a big round of educators, they range from daycare. Pastor Mathis and Lady Mathis run a daycare that's right across the street pretty much from one of my schools, Tuck Elementary School. And they go on up. And I have some former students that they blossom. Mr. Watkins has blossomed. He works with the technical college system with Sister Swan over there. Just people. And I was like, what can I do to kind of bring my life together? It started with this group of people at the table. My mother, my sister, and my brother. We started together. And my brother spoke, I'm going to make it short, because I'm a preacher. About how close-knit of a family we are. Sometimes people don't understand. When my father died 2 years ago, people look, they say, I didn't realize that y'all were close to your dad. I'm like, what else is there to be? When you moved from Tallahassee to Fort Valley in the 80s,
and you've got 3 channels on the TV, but you have to put reading. And we moved down the road, out of the country. We weren't used to that. We were used to living in the city, so we moved to. So Daddy taught us how to be. We were all that we had, you know. So we had to be together. It had to be a close knit family. Still are that same way. But I look around this room, and all of you, you blessed me in your own right. Some of you all, I was talking to Miss Murray. I said, you just met me tonight. I met her husband, Mr. Murray, 2 years ago at the conference that we're getting ready tomorrow to leave to go back to, which is one of the best conferences ever. We'll just flow for that. But I met him there. I met the Moss family a long time ago with Mr. Moss at Northside Middle School. I know what you're thinking. Is he going to go through every table? I might. But I met them, and it's funny, and I'll get to you. It's funny how life brings you back around. And I was looking at Miss Moss's picture yesterday in the nurse's office. I said, now she worked at Morningside back then, probably when I was working at Northside Middle with her husband. Never knew that I would be working at work with the husband and now working with the wife. Dr. Stevens spoke about it. I worked with Miss Stevens at Thompson Middle. And then, thank you, Dr. Stevens. And I'm glad you brought, I was like, let him bring it all out. Because I was so excited, I told my mother, he had been my principal. And then when I got the promotion to the schools where I am now, he had been named. I was like, oh my gosh, I get to work for him again. You didn't tell one part, I've got to share this. Because, and he asked me, how many times did you leave Thompson and come back? It was twice. But when I left the first time, I went in his office, and it was amazing because I spoke with my parents. I said, I feel like the Lord. I told the church, if God tells me to leave middle year, whenever the Lord tells me to leave, I told the church that for a long time. I said, I got to go. But the Lord spoke to her. I talked to my wife. She said, if God's telling you to do it, do it. I was like, you all right? You got a fever. So then I told her first. Then I called, talked to my dad. My daddy was whatever. If God said it, he said, son, go for it. I said, okay, let me speak to Mama. And I spoke to her because Mama's she's the gauge in the family. I said, Mama, Mama said, if the Lord is telling you to do it, do it. I said, are you all right? You okay? You all right? You know what I'm doing? Leaving the job. Got all of that. Went to Dr. Stevens, who was my principal at the time. I walked in, and I don't know if you remember the conversation, and I sat there and I began to tell him what I was about to do. He said, Deas, I already told Renee. He said, I already told Renee, I believe Deas getting ready to leave me. That's his wife. And when he said that, I was like, oh my God, all the classic signs, I got to do what God's called me to do. Left Thompson Middle, I was out for a year. That was probably the greatest year I've ever had in my life because the Lord opened up an international ministry door where my family and I were able to go to Europe to minister during that year. Left there, had to come back, hired me again. I was like, Lord, I thank you. I was there another year and then left and went, got a promotion, came back. God's just been good to me through the hands of the people. Can I help you? Through your hands, through your words of wisdom. Never know, just little things that people see. And my children literally said, they said, Daddy, you know everybody. I said, I try to know everybody. My brother said, I said, I try to know because you never know if you're going to have a flat tire. You need to help somebody. I said, hey, I need some help over here somewhere. So I value my relationships with people. Ms. Hart Parker spoke. I'm so glad you've come. I wanted somebody from, I call it the weave. I wanted somebody from the weave to be here tonight, and you come and express that for my church family. Lady Pastor Ashford, listen, I know all your names. Pastor Thomas, and we've all, Pastor Dumas and his wife, we've had some times when people have admitted, I've never wanted to commit suicide, so that's not what I'm about to say. We've had some times when people have had, some of you all have had to counsel and talk me off the ledge. Y'all don't understand that. Sometimes you just want to go ham on some folks. And they say, no, you can't do that. You don't know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. So you just gotta chill. But I thank Dr. Green, my teacher in the back. Baby hand, sir. I'm blushing, but I don't think I'm long with it. It's just certain things that God puts you in places with people at the right time for them to pour into your life. I was the only male in Dr. Green's class. He taught me at Georgia College and State University, one class. That was the only class I took. But I was the only male. He was the teacher male, and I was the only male in his class. And it was a lot of Caucasian women in the class. And when I walked in, I was sitting there like, Lord, what kind of party is this going to be? But thanks to him, he just, Mr. Styles is in the back, worked with him at Rutland Middle School, and he's almost obtaining his doctorate soon, but he might have been a parapro back then. Was that what it was? He was a parapro back in 2006 maybe, and now he's about to obtain his doctorate degree. Just to see people and to see how God puts you in, and I will say this, God reconnected Mr. Stiles and I because now he has interns that work through our ministry. Look how God does things. That was 2006, and now 14 years later, God uses him to help bring interns into our church. Courtney Watkins, same thing. My church family, I'm not going to name all of y'all because you know I know you by name. I appreciate you for putting up with me every Sunday morning, Wednesday night, special call meetings, and whenever. Thank you. Deaconess Evelyn Statham. What can I say about you? You, Deaconess Ivory, Mother Way. Y'all already know. When I came, little boy, as you said, and you all have watched me grow, I appreciate you. Sister Winston Drain. Yeah. Listen, y'all don't know about me. Bishop Jake said you have to have multiple streams of income, right? Sister Winston Drain helped me to work at the funeral home. Hello. Yeah. Listen, I'm sorry. She exposed me to the funeral home business because that was something that I wanted to do when I was a child. But I've been there, done that. And I didn't get scared. But I thank you, Deacon Greg Pittman. We've been friends over 20 years. You were in my wedding. They're on a picture somewhere. Thank you. Thank God for my son. Somebody said, why you calling me your son? He ain't gonna fight. But when you're a young pastor, this is my 16th year pastoral ministry. When you're a young pastor, you're dealing with people that are around your age. You have to put some things in place so they remember, yeah, you grown, but you ain't grown as the daddy. That's what my dad used to tell me. You grown, but you ain't grown as the daddy. That's why. But I thank God for Deacon Folks because he sees about his pastor. He's not gonna hear fight. I got some fighters. My brother preached, and I'm closing. He preached a sermon one time. He said you have to have 3 groups of people with you. You gotta have some cutters, you gotta have some cussers, and you gotta have some fighters. And I believe I got some cutters, I got a couple of cussers, and I got a few fighters that are ride or die. They fight for me, fight for me. What can I say? I'm done. Deaconess Ruby Peterson, you've been knowing me since I was a little boy too. Your daughter spoke of it. I appreciate all of you all. You took care of me. I stayed in your home. A lot of houses in here with Deaconess South stayed in people's homes and they fed me like I was their own child. And I appreciate that. I just want to say thank you to my wife of 17 years. She corrected me the other night because I told the preacher 16 years. She's like, what about that first year? That first year was a rough year. 17 years we've been married, going on 18 years, thank God for her. And my children, I have the most amazing children in the whole world. I don't see Lieutenant Victor. Oh, you took my seat, okay. Do that in pastoralship back home. Thank God for my children because they blow me away. My son and my daughter, they're hard workers in ministry as I was for my father, and I just appreciate the. Amen. I appreciate my children because there have been times when I didn't want to go to church per se because I didn't feel like going. But they were dressed, they were ready, and they were sitting there like, did he say time to go yet? Did he say time? We'll be leaving. They're like, what is Daddy doing? You go check on him. No, you go check on him. No, somebody go tell Daddy he got to go to work today. So I thank God for them. They blow me away. You come from near and far. I appreciate every single one of you all. Let's go through the answer and we're going. All right, let's see what you know. All right. We'll talk later about all the pictures. Everybody may not know who I am, but I tried to put at least one thing that everybody, can know. All right, middle and high school. East County High School, Fort Valley Middle, very good. My most favorite job or place to work before my official career? Working for the Lord. Amen. Not quite. It was actually 2 of them. Ready? Excuse me. colors? Blue and orange. My middle name? My first official career job location. Byron, Georgia, Byron Middle School, 1998. And that was the first official, but I actually taught at Ballard Hudson for March, April, and May. Got bit on my arm the day before I started school. And they were, there you go. How many years do I have in education? So I've got how many retirement? You're going to take that one, bird. 9. What's my favorite scripture? Wrong. 2 Corinthians. Y'all say you said it. We walk by faith, not by sight. That's it. My first administrative position, you better know this. Weaver Middle School. Yes. My wedding year. 2002. Yes. The counties that I worked in as an educator. They told me. Excuse me, my wife. Hold up, y'all flies in the room. My wife is over there saying a lot because when I applied for the position at Weaver, and I'm gonna tell her, she said, "You reckon you gonna get that job because your resume look like a migrant worker." What's my first vehicle? Toyota Corolla. Deaconess Ivy said, "The Lord ain't gonna bless you with nothing that He ain't gonna allow you to pay for it." My childhood best friend's name? William Bryant. My favorite snack? I can eat them with my eyes closed, sleep. My favorite shoe brand?
Church shoes.
Shut the seat. She's going to say it. If you're an administrator, the shoe of the administrator is the cold. You gotta have a cold home. What instruments can I play? Keyboard and drums. Number of years pastoring? 16. What subject and grade levels have I taught?
English.
6, 7, and 8.
Language arts.
You better talk about it. That's what I'm talking about. We're almost there. And what do I presently do and where? Nobody over there knows. Who knows?
Morningside Elementary, Tucker Elementary.
How you know that?
Principal.
How you know that?
Because I work for you.
Thank you all for coming out. You have made my 45th birthday amazing. It started off, the birthday was actually yesterday. It started out, oh, by the way, take these home with you. These are yours. Take your water bottles. If you got a bag, take all of that home with you. Know that I love you. Dr. Virgie Harris used to say at the Fort Valley State University in public speaking class, at the end of every class, she said, know that I love you all very much. So know that I love you all very, very much. In a group hug like that, 1, 2, 3, there it is. Love you. Safe travels to you. Thank you so much for coming.